Well, here I have the denisstortidev account. It's part of this denisstorti master account. So if we go to the organized accounts, we can see there's a dev OU and the denissdev is inside this OU. So the current permissions for this OU is full access, AWS, and allow S3. So S3 is duplicated between these two accounts. If we check the root OU, we have just the full AWS access. So the first thing to evaluate here is the overlap between the root OU and the dev OU. So basically we have the full AWS account at root level, and the dev level we have full AWS account and allow S3. So for now, everything is allowed. So we are testing here the access to the S3 service from the denissdev account. So let's go to the denissdev account and check if there is any role or permission boundary that applies to this role or user. So I'm here in the denisstortidev account. Let's check the users. Okay, I'm logged in as this Dennis user. If I get into it, it has administrator access. So our next thing to take note is the user, identity user. Identities in AWS are users, roles, or groups. So our identity user Dennis has administrator access to these accounts. So we can see just below the permissions boundaries, there are no permission boundaries set here for this user specifically. So the only thing that we can grasp from here is the attached managed policy for administrator access. Okay, let me check. I'm logged in as Dennis at denisstortidev. So I'm not assuming any role here for now. I'm just logged in with the default user. So these permissions here are being applied. So I should be able to just come here and check the S3 service. All right, it's working. I can list my buckets. Now let's do some experiments restricting these permissions in at different levels. Let's start by the root organization units service control policy. Let's apply these deny S3 and see what happens. So I'm denying S3 access from the root account, and let's see how it behaves with this other OU just below it. If I go back to my S3 in the denisstortidev account, we can see access denied. So the first thing we can notice here is that the SCPs are inherited from the parent level to the children. So dev is an OU child of a root OU. So it's inheriting this deny S3 permission. If I detach again this deny S3 and go back, let's check if it's working now again. Yeah, it is working. Let's do a similar thing, but now this time in the dev OU. Let's apply here. Well, let's remove this allow S3. That's just duplicated. Test again. Okay, it's working because we have full access here. Let's apply deny S3 to this dev OU. Yeah, it's denied. It took some time, but it applied. Denied as expected. Okay. So on a child level, on OUs, when you have several OUs, keep in mind that parent OUs have their own service policies, SCPs, and these are inherited by the children of this OU. So I'll detect this again. Let's go back. Test it. Okay, it's working. So we've tested the SCP policies on the organization level. Let's go to the entity level. So here in our denisstortidev account, let's go to our user, and of course we could, for example, as part of the solutions architect associate exam, you see that it's possible to apply inline policies directly to entities as roles or users or groups. Let's just do it to double check it. So let's switch to deny permission. Let's deny everything on every resource. Deny S3 inline policy. Okay, so I applied the deny S3 inline policy to my entity user. If we go back to our S3, refresh the page, we can see the access is denied. So it's all right. This could be another role with a similar policy, just attach it to this user or the group. The result would be the same. So let's remove this. Check again. Okay, it's working. Now let's go to the service boundary level. So the first things evaluated are the SCPs for the OUs. In fact, the overlap of the SCPs on the OU level. Then we go down and evaluate the permission boundaries, which basically is the maximum permissions that this user or role may assume. It doesn't grant or deny anything. It just limit the permissions, the maximum permissions you may have. For example, here I'm with administrator access. I have full access to all AWS services. It comes from the OU and from my user policy attached. Let's set a permission boundary just to allow S3 access. Oh, even better, let's allow only EC2 access. EC2 full access, yeah, that's it. Let me add IAM. If not, I cannot change again these permissions. Oh, I can't. What happened here is I've changed the permission boundary, stating that okay, this user can only access EC2, the EC2 service. So after evaluating the OUs and SCPs overlap, we had full AWS access. Then we came to evaluate the permissions boundary, and the permissions boundary said that I would only be able to access EC2s. So I removed all of the other access that I had, including IAM service access. So that's the reason why I cannot change again this policy. You can see if I navigate to other pages, I don't have access anymore. Even S3 will be blocked. Only EC2 will be available for me.